Hello. How are you? This is Els coming from Bemis Crafty Corner. And today we're going to do this little project right here. It's kind of cute. It's got a little Velcro seal on it. Of course, you can use a button or, no seal at all. It's entirely up to you. And it's just a little, a little ephemera thing. Fantastic for doing happy mails, or, if you just want to put something, tuck something in one of your journals that's got a little bit of space in it. This would be great for that. I'm going to get a supply list together, pretty easy on this one, and I'll be right back. Okay, let's take a look at the supplies for this one. Adhesive, obviously. If you're going to use sticky dots, then you want some sticky dots, or, Velcro dots. If you're going to use Velcro. Plastic snaps, if you're going to use those. And, of course, you could always just tie a piece of string or twine or seam binding or whatever around it and tie it. Absolutely. These are small sacks. These, I believe, are from Hobby Lobby. You're going to need one of those. You're going to need some cardstock or paper. If you're putting this in a journal, paper works okay. If you're going to be mailing it to somebody, cardstock is probably recommended, but either way, double-sided is best. You don't have to use it, but if you have it and you're happy with both sides, fantastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all this stuff out of the way, and I'm going to bring in the paper trimmer, and we're going to get started. And, when you're picking your paper too, just as a little aside, be mindful of how you're planning on decorating and what you may be putting into it, okay? That being said, I will be back in just a moment. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our paper bag, and this bottom piece, we're going to fold it in, fold it up. We basically just want to get it out of the way, and then we're going to cut that off. Now you can use scissors to do this, or you can use your trimmer, whatever you want to do, but I'm going to cut it off with my scissors and then even it up with my trimmer in a second. Okay, so we're just cutting this part of the bag off. Bye-bye. All right, so now I have this, which has the two flaps on either side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half. Now, it doesn't matter if I fold it in half with where it's glued together on the inside or the outside. That's entirely up to you. But I'm going to fold it in half. Just like that. And then I'm going to put this in my trimmer, because I'm just going to trim off that little bit right there, because I'm taking off that serrated part. If you don't have that on yours, then don't worry about it. And I just want to make sure that it's nice and even. And it is. Okay. So once I'm done with that, then I'm going to have to find what I'm going to use to wrap it. And so I have a lot of paper here that's contenderish. So let me measure the width of this, which is, it's just over 3.5. So I'm going to cut a piece that's 3 5/8 inch wide, which, if you're keeping track, is 1 tick past 3.5. So that line between 3.5 and 3 3/4. Okay. I'm going to take that off, and then let me get this down out of the way for a second. The next part of this is just kind of deciding: do I want this on the inside and that on the outside, or do I want it the other way? And I think I'm going to go this way. And all I'm going to do is kind of put that there, and I'm just going to wrap it by hand, okay? And the reason I'm wrapping it by hand is so that I don't pre-cut this and have it too small. So I'm just going to wrap it around by hand. And then I'm going to take and give myself about an inch, inch and a half up here. So let's go 1.5, give or take. And that's going to be my flap over the top. That's it for the cutting. The rest of the cutting will be done with scissors. So I'm going to get this out of the way real quick. And then we're going to get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to glue this together. Now, you can use regular liquid glue. You can use 3-in-1. You can use stick glue, whatever kind of glue you want here. I don't care if you use paste. But you want to glue these two center pieces together, and you don't want to overdo the glue so that it glues everything else together. Okay? So let's see, what shall we use? What shall we use? I'll use this. This is my Scotch permanent glue stick. If I have to use a glue stick, this is kind of the one I like. So I'm going to glue this up, and then I'm going to let this whole thing dry really well, and then I'll be back. Okay? All right, so at this point, we are going to take that piece that we finger folded, and we're just going to make sure that we get that nice and pressed, and we're going to make sure that it's even on both sides. And then we're going to take this, and we're going to put some glue on our bag. And then we're going to put this on that flap that we created, and we're going to make sure that we make it nice and even. We want it to be right at the top. It doesn't necessarily have to be here, but if there's a big gap there in that little piece, then, you know, by all means, move this down and trim it off at the top, okay? So we're gonna let that happen. We're gonna put some more on this side. And then we're gonna fold that piece over. And then we're gonna let the whole thing dry again. Okay? I'm gonna fold this up. And then I'm going to let the whole thing dry, and then I'll be back, and we'll move on to the next part, okay? So, let it dry. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is make sure that we haven't glued everything together. Okay, so it's looking pretty good. So up here, if we want to angle this, we're going to go ahead and do that. Go, and then we're going to fold this over nice and even. Give it a nice crease. And if you're going to attach, you know, some kind of Velcro or something to this, now would be the time to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut one of my little Velcro dots out here, and these are mini dots. And I'm just gonna peel the backing off of one side of this, put it on, make sure I have my dots lined up, take the backing off the other side, and then fold it over. So now it's all finished. All I have to do is ink and decorate. So let's talk about that. So this one I think will be best if I ink it in black. So I'm going to ink the top here on both sides. I'm going to ink on the edge all the way around. Ink this piece, this side, the bottom, the other edge, and then I'm going to ink my flap inside and out. And then we're just going to add some little details and things to this. So, I think I should like it to look like it has some faux stitching. So I'm going to do that. And I'm using a waterproof marker. And the trick on this is always just to, you know, make your stitches the same distance apart and about the same length. And of course, if you have a sewing machine, you can always just, you know, sew this before you do this. You can just put a line of stitching around there. You know what? I kind of like the idea of putting one here too. So I'm going to put one little line across. And then I'm going to get out some ephemera and things that I want to decorate this with, and I'm going to decorate it, so I'll be back as soon as I do that, and I'll show you guys what the finished product looks like. I'll be right back. Okay, so there it is, and here's the original. And, you know, it's got a little Velcro closure, and it opens up nice, plenty of room in there. I could go through and ink the top if I wanted to, you know, just for giggles. I did add a little bit of lace here, just a little bit of decoration, my faux stitching. But it's, you know, just something I can tuck into a pocket, or I can put this in a Happy Mail and send it off to somebody. You could certainly use a bigger bag if you chose to, and, you know, make it larger. That's entirely up to you. But I like this little compact size, and so I'm going to be putting this into my ephemera basket and using it in a future journal. That's it, guys. That's all I have for you today. Listen, if you're new here and you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that button for me and subscribe. Like me, ring my bell, share me with all your friends, and then your friends can be my friends, and my friends can be your friends, and our friends can get to be friends. And before you know it, we have a giant crafting community. I do go live on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays, and I post twice a week, usually Mondays and Wednesdays, but, you know, any other time I feel like it too. And I have two things going on in 2022, the first of which is some free classes. I'm doing some free classes. If you're interested in those, the best way to find out more information is to make sure that you select the all notifications when you ring that bell, and that way you will find out as soon as those videos are uploaded. And the second thing I have going on is my 12 of 22 journal challenge, and if you would like more information on that, go to the description box below, click on the link, cut and paste whatever it is you do, and go over. There's a little slideshow, tells you everything you need to know. And if you would like to know what videos I have coming up, just go over to either my Facebook group in the features or on my YouTube channel in the community page. You will find a list of all of my upcoming videos. They're about 2.5 months out. So you can go in there and you can find out what's going on, what days I'm having sales, what day classes are coming out, what those classes are going to be. It's all listed in there. And if you have an idea or a project that you would like to see me do, or you would like to see my take on something, just let me know by sending me an instant message or an email or something, and I will be more than happy to take a look at the video that you give me and see if there's something that I can do that's similar, close to it. I don't know, maybe there's no tutorial, I'll do the tutorial, whatever. That's it, guys. That's all I have for you. Until I see you the next time. Bye-bye.